Aren't you a little unfinished to be a stormtrooper? Right, so as you can see in the opening bit, I've made a stormtrooper helmet. Now, I made this a long time ago, never finished it, as I do with multiple projects lying around this place. But a friend of mine suggested that I make TIE Fighter helmet, and I couldn't find TIE Fighter helmet patterns online, or I was just looking around for stuff. Like, there's Peppercorn stuff there that I don't understand, so I'm not doing Peppercorn stuff. But then I remembered I had built this and never finished it. I left off the strip at the front, and there's no padding or anything on the inside, no lenses, and a few things that need to be done, sanding down seams and stuff, right? But if you look at the TIE Fighter helmets and the Stormtrooper helmets, it looks like the TIE Fighter ones are just repainted black and with a few extra bits. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to repaint this one and build another one, because I need two, one for me mate, one for myself. I'm going to add on bits here, and then there's a bit at the side. Like, I think if I build the next one, I'll leave off the dints because they get covered, and probably a few more bits that I might add in. I need to add in the little chin piece, which actually that needs to go in a bit more. It's a bit out, so that needs to. Or I can fix that. I can glue on like a little bit on the inside just to keep it up. Like, yeah, that's because it looks much better when it's like that. Anyway, I'm rambling. So I have the pattern for the other thing. I don't know where I got the pattern. It's been that long since I built this thing that I can't remember where the pattern came from. If I remember by the time the video is edited, I'll slap the details in the comments or in the description, and you can go and download it yourself. I can't remember. I'll have to go fishing through my emails or something like that. There you go. You can almost call this my first proper tutorial. All my other things that I do is just doing from like memory, or I just kind of making it up as I go along. This is the first one that I actually have a pattern for. So I'm going to have to go along on the patterns, if you know what I mean, if that makes sense. So I'll kind of be showing you how to do things like with patterns, instead of just making it up as you go along as I usually do. I'm also running out of foam, so the plan is to make use cheaper bits of foam. I have floor mats that I'm going to use. I got the floor mat for nothing. It says to use 8mm foam. I never have 8mm foam, so I never have 8mm foam. Right, so I'm going to cut out all these smaller bits. These need to be mirrored, so to save on seams. I didn't do it on some of the other ones, just so there's extra seams to seal. So I am going to try and fit as many as I can on that sheet of paper. See, the thing about doing mirror and stuff is there might be less seams, but you're going to use more foam because it's a longer piece. So you run that risk, don't you? God, this foam is wrecking me pens. It won't mark with the white pen. It won't mark with a pencil. And me biros, it's just drying them up. Come on, for sake! I'll edit that out. Now, I had planned to make this some sort of a tutorial. But of course, as I started to draw out the pattern, the power went. So, there you go. That's what you get for living in a crappy part of rural Ireland. Power just goes willy-nilly. But look, it's back now. Start again. I have most of the pieces cut out. I'm just gluing two bits together. I have to cut out one of the dome pieces, and then that's it. Well, that's not it, but you know what I mean. And this, I forgot this, how much the foam mats destroy your blades, like. They really do. It seems like they're more heat treated or something like that. I don't know, but whatever it is, they're destroying my blades. I have to keep sharpening it all the time. These were supposed to be mirrored on the thing to avoid less seams, but I didn't do that. So I'm just gonna have to go with the flow. Clean up more seams at the end. And when you're cutting out patterns, right? Now I had to use a marker, I had to use a Sharpie in the end because it just kept destroying me by the pencil wouldn't draw on it properly. Shit, they're falling over there. They're falling over. Hey. What was I saying? Oh, when you're cutting out the patterns, so I had to draw on them with a marker, so the marker's slightly thicker than a pen. So what you need to do is cut on the inside of the line. If you're cutting the outside of the line, the pattern will be slightly bigger. Only by a few mils, but if you want it to be as exact as you can, cut out on the inside of the lines. You also can't find my little dome thing that I used to heat form, give the form a curve before you glue it together. You don't know where it is. And when you're heat forming stuff, get something round like this, right? But try and get something a bit better than this. That's not as crap as this. I did have a deadly thing. It was a little yoga ball thing. It was brilliant. I don't know where the hell it is. Cleaned up, put it somewhere, gone. I might try and make a proper one at some stage, but look, this is what it is for now. You heat up both sides for maybe 30 seconds each till it's a bit malleable. Push it over the round thing, leave the curve in it. Helps with putting it together. Nice if it was plugged in. And heat and foam like this can give off fumes. Like it can give off, because you're technically melting the foam. If you keep the heat going over the foam too long, it can melt it and give off fumes. So you should really technically be using a mask, so you're not inhaling any of that. But if you're quick and you use it on a low setting, it won't melt the foam and give off any fumes. You should be alright. Now, just holding it over, wait till the foam cools down. Just that. Slight curve, straight. See? So much easier to less tension on the seams, like, you know. And the heat gun can melt your cutting mat, so a bit of wood or something underneath, a bit of plank of wood, something like that would do you the world of good. It would stop the heat gun from melting everything. Some of this needs to be Dremel. Some of it needs to be Dremeled before glue it on, because I'm looking at the other one and there's non-sharp edges, so I don't want to glue it together and then discover that, you know, it needs to be Dremeled, because if I use a Dremel afterwards I might cut it, I might damage the actual finished product. So I'm going to try and, you know, soften the edges on with the rotary tool beforehand. I think that's everything cut out for now anyway. I never need to cut out a few smaller bits, like, but for now that's it. Again, I should be wearing a mask. I'm not. I mean, you know, I can't be arsed to get it and it's just there in front of me. Get off! Contact cement sticking to me bleeding arm here. So good, these bleeding. This glue pot. Never going back to the stupid little squeegee jar. I mean, it spreads it out properly. You know, you can use, you can get the edges, you can get big bits, you can get loads of parts of it. Like, when you're using the little squeegee thing, you're squeeging a little bottle along the edge, and then if you're using a big part, you have to squeege loads of little. Like, hate it. It was just stupid. I don't have bleeding contacts in my arm. So these cheek bits need to be cut out and then glued back in. Glued back in at a lower kind of thing, so it has that inset. Normally what I'll do is I'll just cut it out and then cut the back off it and then glue it back in. Use super glue to glue it back in, because trying to get little small parts like that in with contact cement, pain in the hole. Right, so I'm going to line up the registration marks. I'll show you on this registration mark here, here, here with all these, and it should bring a curve into it. My contact cement is sufficiently sticky. Don't worry about if the alignment marks don't line up perfectly. Just get them as best you can. If they're off by loads, then yeah, your helmet is probably going to be off by a good bit. But if they're only off by a little bit, don't worry about it. Sometimes you might get a bit of human error of drawing them wrong, or maybe they're a millimeter off or something like that. Just do your best. When you're gluing a curved object onto kind of a straight object like this, especially with foam, it'll bring the thing, because it's soft and malleable, it'll push it into the curved shape. Like, couldn't really do this with anything solid, like, you know. Cardboard is good, but again, you have to do it in smaller bits with cardboard. Plastic, people use them with Warbler. And then of course 3D printing, which I still haven't got the hang on. And then that's the two dome pieces. We'll glue them together. Again, front and front, line with marks. And let that dry a bit. And I'll show you what I mean with. So these is 10mm. You want it to inset at about, I don't know, 3mm. So I'm just cutting a bit off the back of it. And then I'll just glue it back in. You could sand a bit off the back, whatever way you want to do it. Or you could put it in and just push it through without cutting a bit off. But I find then you have a little bit extra sticking out the back. Don't like that. Yeah. And you're just going to glue it back in, and it gives it that kind of inset look. So, a bit of super glue on my trousers. And on my fingers, and everything everywhere else. You see? So there's the side without inset, and there's the side with the inset. And super glue all of my fingers now. Well, there's your dome anyway. Not worried about the seams on the top. They're garbage at the moment. They always are with me. I have to do seams properly. But they're going to be covered by that crest piece and then the bits on the side. So I'm not overly worried about them. What I'll do is, so I'm going to probably split this into two videos. When I get this one done, I'm going to make sure the two of them are exact, and then I'll do a part 2 video of putting the parts onto the both of them. And then I'll maybe do, I could do a part 3 and show you exactly how I paint things. It'll be a small video, but sure, look. That's the plan anyway, you know. I'm going to show you how I pattern out the extra bits on top. Then I'll, you know, stick them on. Then I'll paint it, and I might put, you know, a bit of foam and stuff inside so it's not so wobbly on the head. Right, so, dome done. Now what's next? Oh yeah, the Dremel bit, don't I? Well, I'm gonna put my heat gun away into its heat-proof box. I'm gonna inset that bit, and then I'm going to Dremel all the bits that I think need Dremel. Again, I keep saying Dremel. It's not even a Dremel, it's a Ryobi multi-tooly majiggery ball. I still have loads of super glue that Steve sent me from England. It hasn't even opened, so it's not as if I'm going to run out of bleeding super glue anytime soon. Right, so I have decided that I'm going to sit properly. Just going to round off some of the edges, fix some of the cuts that I banjaxed up when I was cutting them, and then I'm only going to do it on a few of them, not all of them. I need to fix that, that's garbage. Right, I think, I'm looking at the other one, there she is there, I think I've Dremelled the right things, like, or rotary tool them. I think I'm going to start gluing the front part together. Oh crap. Right, so I'm just not looking at that. I need to make the mouthpiece, which will be I'm guessing 5 and 3. I've got a bit of white stuff, white foam, and I've got a bit of 5mm somewhere that I can make that bit, because that goes on underneath this bit. I'm going to do it bit by bit. I don't want to, because I'm going off of that one. If I start slapping loads of glue on and then I realise, oh crap, I missed a bit, you know. God, what does that look like? Right, so, and then the next bit, which won't be this bit, I don't need to, and there's a weird way you glue this on. You have to glue a bit underneath because it looks like he has baggy eyes in it. Like, I'm sure in the OG Star Wars, when they made the TIE Fighter helmet, they used to use the same mold and just glued on a few extra bits to save some money. Of course they did. That's probably why they look so similar. I still suck at putting stuff together. Look at the state of that. I can fix it though. I will Dremel it down, or anyway, it'll be covered by some of the seams, so what I'll do. Arse. That was the postman. I haven't ordered that, and so I don't know what he's delivering. This one's, it's looking a bit cleaner than the first one. I don't have to take my glasses off when I put it on. I'll have to take them off when I'm wearing it though. What I was doing last time was I was trying to put this piece on first, but what I think you need to do is assemble most of the bottom part first and then put it on. So I have these bits here, and what I'm probably going to do is just put the darts on first. Yeah, I'd say do the darts. Yeah, why not? Do the darts and then figure out, because I can't remember how to put it, so I'm going to have to put like the A's with the A's and things. If I just look at the other part. Yeah, I'll do that. Here's a good tip for you. To get the glue into the gaps, fold it. Fold your foam over and you can get the two of them at the same time. You can see it on the camera up there. Like that. Instead of trying to get in here like this with the thing, it's just not going to work. Fold it over. And it's foam, it's very malleable, so it'll just go back to the way it was. Of course, you can see in there that those cuts weren't great. This means my blade wasn't perfect. I also have a bit of a visor stuff somewhere. So where's the visor bits? Yeah, so like bits of like leftover welding visor. They were for the Mando helmets, and they're soft and malleable. You could put, I suppose you could put like a pair of sunglasses in, because they're very small eyepieces. You could get like a big pair of sunglasses and do it, but I think I'll just cut out small bits of this, glue it on the inside. It should be alright. I've loads of that little bit. What's the point in letting them go to waste, you know? Again, this keeps telling me 8mm, but I don't have 8mm, so I'm going to go with the flow of what I have. It's not the worst, is it? I still can't remember where I got it from. I searched through my emails. See if I could find the fella who I bought it off. And I can't find it. I think I might have deleted the email. I was doing a clear out. Just glue all these edges up. This glue is really weird. If you leave it like even a couple of seconds too late, it won't glue. It'll just be too dry. But that's alright. Remember, use the registration marks, that's what they're there for. You can't really see them that well on this phone, but you do your best. Should have done these together, like. But then again, I didn't know I was making a TIE Fighter helmet, did I? I just thought I was making a Stormtrooper helmet ages ago, and then the TIE Fighter thing came up and I was like, oh yeah, that's a good idea. Kids who want to get into this stuff, I don't suggest you use contact cement, or if you are going to use it, get an adult to help you. Like, there's other glues you can use, they just take a little bit longer. You can use PVA, PVA is probably not the greatest for sticking things together instantly, but it's non-toxic PVA, and you know it works. So you know you could also use like super glue and tape, and then take the tape off. There's many different ways, like if kids want to get into this sort of stuff. Like, I started too late, way too late in my life. I should have started this when I was younger, because it's awesome and I love doing it. Like, I've always made costumes, but not in the cosplay way, if you know what I mean. It's always been in make it any old way, the Gerry way. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, maybe not all the way around to the last alignment mark. There we go. I'm happy with that. And then that would go on there, all the way up to there. Yeah, and then that bit will go onto the bottom. Well, now we're sucking diesel. Don't do what I'm doing. Don't like use a mask if you're using contact cement. Even if you're getting a parent to help you, use a mask. It's stinky, toxic stuff. I have a window open up here behind me. I should really have a window and a fan. You know, if you're doing outdoor, that's not too bad, because the fumes will dissipate. Like, but I should really be wearing a mask in such of a small room, and I'm not. So, as the saying goes, do as I say, don't do as I do. I'm just a silly dope. Again, I forgot to put the alignment marks on this thing. That's not glued in there. Probably silver glue in there. See, I waited a little bit too long for that one. It's starting to go a bit too dry. Hello. Looks like a boardman or something. Boardman costume. Right, now, so enough messing for now. So back with this. You can mess when you're dead. Now, this is going to have to go in here, all of this in here. Right, stick it in, stick it around onto the lines, and it should form to the right shape that you're looking for, and then the sides on, and then the neck piece. And I think that's it then. This is actually bringing back a lot of memories, because my first proper costume that I built myself was a Stormtrooper costume made out of cardboard. Now I didn't make the helmet, I bought a crappy Stormtrooper helmet. It actually wasn't even a Stormtrooper helmet, it was a clone trooper one, where I built the Stormtrooper armour out of cardboard. Like, I spent a good fair bit of time on it. I didn't make it myself, I just kind of made up stuff like as I went along. There was no patterns, it didn't even look brilliant, like, but it was a bit of fun. But then on the way home it started to rain and I wrecked the costume. It got the paint all leaked off and the cardboard started to melt and everything, so the costume went in the bin pretty quickly afterwards. Still have the helmet though, it's floating around somewhere. No, not too bad. There's loads of glue in there that's kind of hanging off. That way I'm going to have to really sand down and fill in, because it looks gunky. It's not clean at all, and it's not to my high standards of cosplay building. Yeah, right. It fits anyway. I think that one's slightly smaller than the other one, which is good, because the one I'm building for my friend, he has a smaller head than me. Right, I'm going to leave it at that for this video, right? So basically the two base template Stormtrooper helmets are done, right? This one is the one I did second. That's the one I did first, months, years, I don't really know, a long time ago, right? And this one, it has the little indents in the back and the side, because obviously I was planning on making a Stormtrooper costume originally, but this one doesn't have the inset bit, because the TIE Fighter has a big crest piece across here, and then another kind of circular bit around here, and then the side vents are different, right? Instead of being long and skinny little side vents with panels on them, they're two fat things, right? That's why I haven't covered up the seams yet, because I want to put those bits on first and then cover the seams up. Doing it with floor mat foam is cheaper, but when you sand down floor mat foam, it leaves a rougher texture than it does the Cosplay foam. But again, cheaper. They're making 2 of them back to back. Again, cheaper. So, right, that's it. The next video will be me doing the other parts. That was a fun video because I had to do it from a partner instead of making something myself, but I have 2 of them anyway. So, if you like the video, give me a like, give me a subscribe. If there's anything you think I can build or I should build, slap in the comments below and I'll get back to you. Good luck.